Hi, I'm Colleen.
Hey, I'm Dana. Colleen and I are software engineers at Google. We work on Google Cloud Platform, and today we're going to show you how to use the Cloud Foundry Service Broker for Google Cloud Platform that we built in collaboration with the engineers at Pivotal. So Colleen, you took the lead building the Service Broker. Can you give us an overview of what a Service Broker is?
Sure. Service Broker is a special kind of Cloud Foundry app that developers can use to quickly and easily spin up instances of different services and then get credentials for their applications to use. It's integrated into the Cloud Foundry CLI, so developers can stay focused, and Cloud Foundry operators can manage the kinds of services and plans that their developers have access to.
Cool. So what's the quickest, easiest way to actually get a Service Broker installed?
So the Service Broker is available as a tile on network.pivotal.io. So if you're using Pivotal Ops Manager, the easiest way to get up and running is just to go that route. And normally this takes about a half an hour, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to cut out some of the waiting time. And all of this is documented on docs.pivotal.io, but if you want to follow along with me, here are the steps you would need to run through. To get started with the Service Broker, you need to create a new GCP project if you don't already have one. Then you'll need to create a new service account for the broker to use for all of its calls and give it owner-level access to your project. You'll need to enable the IAM and Cloud Resource Manager APIs, as well as the APIs for any other services you want to enable. Then you'll need to set up a database to back the Service Broker. You can use any MySQL database you want, but if you'd like to use Cloud SQL, you can set up your database in the console using default settings, except that you'll want to enable network access from any IP, restrict access to SSL connections, and create a set of SSL certs for the Service Broker to connect with. After setting up your project and database and enabling APIs, you'll download the tile from PivNet. Add it to your Ops Manager installation. When you first add it, you'll need to go through some configuration steps. First, you'll need to add the credentials for the service account you gave owner access to your project. And then you'll need to configure access and credentials for the database that backs the Service Broker. Lastly, if you as an operator want to expose Cloud SQL to your developers, you'll need to configure some custom plans based on machine type, disk size, and pricing plan. Once you're all done with configuration, the tile will turn green and you'll be able to apply your changes. When Ops Manager finishes updating, all of these services will be available in the marketplace. And documentation for this installation process, as well as for using the Service Broker, is available on docs.pivotal.io. But if you're not using Ops Manager and you just want to deploy the Service Broker as an app to your Cloud Foundry installation, it's publicly available on GitHub, and instructions for installing an app as a Service Broker are available on docs.cloudfoundry.org. And Dana, we walked through this together recently, and you were able to build a super cool app that uses the Service Broker. Can you show us what you built?
Sure, and thank you. I think it's pretty cool too. I built a Spring Boot application which scrapes Reddit for cute animal photos, classifies them using the Google Cloud Vision API, stores them in Google Cloud Storage, and displays the results. At this point, I've uploaded my application to Cloud Foundry, but it won't run since it has no valid credentials. To generate credentials and create my cloud storage bucket, I used the Service Broker. The first step is to create a storage service. I've named the storage bucket Vision Bucket, and I'll refer to it with that name from within the code. You can also let the Service Broker generate a bucket name and have your code pull that name from the environment. Next, I'll bind it to my application and give the service account admin permissions for my cloud storage bucket. Now we have everything we need to parse the credentials from within our application. Restaging the app takes a few minutes, so in the meantime, let's take a look at the code. The credentials are stored in the VCAP services environment variable, so our application parses that variable as JSON and stores it in a Google credential object, which can then be used to access the APIs we need. Now that it's running, let's take a look. There's nothing in our storage bucket yet, so the app is pretty empty. Let's run the scraper. And there we have it. Cute animal pictures with labels generated from the Google Cloud Vision API, all served out of Google Cloud Storage.
Aww.
Aww.
That's really cool. How long did it take you to build that?
So when I first started working on the app, I was brand new to the Service Broker, but it still took me just a few hours to get it working within my app and to feel like I actually understood what I was doing and how the whole thing worked. Once I had it working here, I was able to use it in another app later, and the whole integration took under an hour.
Awesome. So do you have any tips or best practices for anybody else looking to build an application with the Service Broker?
Sure. One best practice tip that I'd like to mention is using curated IAM roles for your bindings. These are roles that restrict access to a single GCP service. As you saw earlier, when I bound my service instance created through the Service Broker, I passed a custom parameter, which is the IAM role that controls what resources the application has access to. For the sake of security, we advise using curated roles so your application has as few privileges as possible. You can see examples of this in the Service Broker documentation on docs.pivotal.io, and you can find out more about curated roles in the IAM documentation on cloud.google.com. This is awesome. Service Broker is really great, right?
Yeah, Service Broker, best broker.
Best broker.
Thanks for watching. Check out our playlist and more videos on Cloud Foundry, and make sure to subscribe to the Google Cloud channel.